Alright guys, it's Kristine Mirelle with Starving Musician's Guide, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about how I totally skipped the line and went straight to Simon Cowell on XFactor, and how you can do this to get on The Voice, American Idol, XFactor, so you don't have to wait in line all day. So let's go! All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Google and you're just gonna go here and you're gonna go how to audition online for The Voice or whatever it is that you want to audition for, okay? So here you go. Let's click on this link. Sometimes it might be like one or two different links you're gonna have to click on. And here you go. If you can't attend an open call audition, send us a video. Online or by mail. So let's do online because this is going to be the easiest one, guys. You're not going to have to stand in line. You don't have to be in the heat. You're not going to have to camp out like all those crazy people. You're not going to have to be in the cold, in the rain, or the snow. You're literally going to be in the comfort of your home, making a video and sending it in. So it's going to tell you what the guidelines are, you know, perform 2 songs, blah, 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 no acapella, register here. And then if you want to send it in by mail, you can. I would suggest doing it by email, guys. There's no reason why you shouldn't mail. Email is easy. So as long as you got a computer or phone, just send it in. That's super easy. You can also do this with any other type of show. How to audition online. I can spell online for American Idol. And there you go. We can click right here. Look, how to audition online for American Idol. Let's click here. And there it is. Click here to upload your audition for American Idol. You can always audition in person, guys, but I didn't make this profile for that. I made this profile for the people who don't want to stay in the cold, who don't want to stay in the heat, who don't want to be in the rain, who don't want to be hungry and irritated and staying in line for 24 hours or having to camp out the day before. Unless you like that kind of stuff. I don't like that kind of stuff. I'd rather be out enjoying myself instead of standing in line. So that's how you find it online, and let's get into the rest of how to do it. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, the most important thing is creating a very unique audition tape, guys. So keep this in mind. Singing is important, but it's not, that makes it probably like 30%. The other 70% is like your personality, because this is television. If this was the radio, that would be different. This is television. They're looking for people that are unique, that are funny, or that are different, or that are weird, that just have something about them that they're gonna want to put them on national television, because for them, they have to get ratings. They have to, or else they get taken off the air. So they have to make sure that people will watch it. So even if that means getting terrible people on there, or getting like people that just look really weird, but they sing opera or whatever it is. And if you have to create something to like give yourself some really cool personality, or if maybe you're, worried because you're a little bit weird and you're like, maybe they're not gonna like me, that's actually why they're gonna like you. So make sure to be yourself. But if you want to, if you feel like getting into a character, you can create a character too. So it's totally up to you and what you're comfortable with. But just what I would suggest is just make sure that whatever it is, make sure it's fun. Make sure it's gonna like be great on camera. If you're normally this way, be like 10 times that much, because if you're just barely like kind of like, hi, I sing and I do a little bit, and then you're like, la, they're not gonna wanna put you on there, because they need really outgoing people. They need people that are gonna help them bring ratings. Now, quick note, keep in mind that this is television. So this can be a really great experience or a really terrible experience for you, depending on how you take it. For me, I had a really great time, but a lot of people on the show were like, I'm never doing music ever again. And the reason why is because there's a lot of other elements other than singing that have to go with the show. So they created all these stories about people, right? Some of it wasn't true. In fact, most of it wasn't true. So like one girl on the show, she lives with her parents, but they created this story around her, right? They create these profiles, and sometimes it's like, oh, I have a child that I haven't been able to feed, or I've been homeless in my car for 20 years, or whatever it is. And this particular girl, they made this story that made it look like she worked in a club and she hated her job, and this was her last chance to become a singer. But really, she lived at home with her parents and was really wealthy, and her parents probably could have just paid for producers and singers anyways. But so they created all these stories about everybody. They even created a story about me. Now, at the time, I was performing like 5 or 6 nights a week already, so I already had a career in music. And they were like, we can't do that because we have to make it seem like this is your last chance. So if you notice, now that you watch the shows, you're always going to see people going, this is my last attempt at doing this. If I don't get this, I'm just going to quit. What they told me was, so apart from me performing, I also own a tortilla chip company. So this is in like Whole Foods and a bunch of cool stores. I worked really, really hard on it, busted my butt to do this. And they're like, we're gonna put it on national television. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've worked so hard and like sacrificed so much for this that I'm so glad people are gonna finally see this thing that I worked hard for. So they, put me in a grocery store and everything. I'm passing out samples. I had my chips there. Well, when they finally aired it, they actually didn't show the chips, and they made it seem like I worked at a grocery store. So they didn't say anything that I busted my butt to actually start the brand or that I perform for a living. I mean, I come from nothing. So for me to like have built the life that I have, I'm very proud of that. And they just made it seem like I just work at a grocery store and that's just it. That's my ambition, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not my life. That's not what I actually do. What I've actually done is just, I have been homeless. I have slept in my car. You know, I've done all this stuff for me to build like a cool life. And so whenever I saw that, it was right before I was going on stage. It was like, I work at a grocery store. You know, they didn't put I work at a grocery store, but they're like, she works at a grocery store. And I was like, whoa. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. But it was fine. I didn't take it personal. I still had a great time. You know, other people were like, I can't believe they did this to me. So if you get on the show, make sure not to take it personal. And also don't take it personal if you don't get on the show. Because the other thing is, they decide to choose people to go on the show depending on what they're instructed to do. So what I mean by that is I know some of the producers, so sometimes they called me one year. So actually they seek out artists. And they called me and they said, hey, we're actually looking for Latin artists this year. So that means if you were Asian and you were like a great singer, chances are you probably weren't going to get on the show because they're looking for Latin artists that year. And sometimes they're looking for like kids, and sometimes they're looking for duos, and sometimes they're looking for like country music artists. So a lot of it doesn't have to do with talent. So don't get discouraged if you don't make it. In fact, I tried, I think like 3 or 4 times before I got on the show. So, you know, don't get discouraged. Make sure to just be like, hey, you know, if they don't like it, then maybe they'll like it next year. And if not, keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on pursuing music. It's just television. So again, it's very different than radio. Now, before I got on stage, I was pretty nervous, and my performance was actually like really crappy. The one that they aired, I was like, they made me sing this song by Britney Spears, and I had called them the weekend before, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna get kicked off this show because of the song. I sound terrible on this song. I can't sing it. It's god awful. And they were like, sorry, you have to sing it. And I'm like, no. And I sang it, and the day of, I mean, I just like totally like bombed. I think I sang it in a totally different key. It was absolutely terrible. You can look it up if you want. It's really, really bad. And you can read all the comments. People are like, she sucks. And it was pretty sucky. But after the show, you know, a lot of people were like, I quit. I'm gonna go just work at a 9 to 5 or whatever. And I went right back to doing what I do and, you know, performing 5-6 nights a week or whatever. And, you know, if you wanna get off the show and be like, I give up, you know, then you know, that's what's gonna happen. Music isn't something that is just gonna happen like this. It's something that everybody wants to do, and so you have to stay consistent with it and stay like fighting through it. And as long as you fight through it, and as long as you have some talent and more determination than anything, you can do it. So let's get on to what I did for the audition tape. For the audition tape, this is really important, okay? So make sure to be really funny, outgoing. Make sure that this is something that they're gonna wanna, you know, people are gonna wanna watch on television, because that's how they're gonna choose you. So on the website, there were these questions like, you know, why do you wanna be on the show or whatever? So you're supposed to answer these questions. Well, what I did, I totally just avoided the questions. I really didn't answer them. I was just totally just being like a clown. And I actually like grabbed some dental floss, and I was like, I don't know. I was thinking that if I was on television, it might be kind of cool. So I did that, and I just totally like evaded everything that they were asking. They're like, tell us about your family. And I'm like, I don't have any family. All I have is this little dog who doesn't love me. And my little dog is like sitting there like, why are you doing this to me? She's like pushing me away and stuff. And I'm like, but I love her. I love her. They just got this ridiculous audition tape of me just totally acting like a fool. And then I sang a little bit. I mean, that's really what happened. I really just sang maybe 30 seconds of like a couple songs. And what I did was, whatever it is that you do, just you do you and do what you do well. Because for me, I'm just kind of like ridiculous all the time, and I don't care. I don't really get embarrassed if I make a fool out of myself. So I'll just act crazy. But let's say you're a comedian, or let's say you dance, you know, put in some like moves or whatever. You're like a belly dancer. Like do whatever it is that you do. If you're funny, you know, if you can do a cartwheel, like just do something fun, because they just want to see that you have a personality, and that maybe the day of they're going to ask you to do a cartwheel, or they're going to ask you to do a backflip, or whatever it is. And you want to just be ready to be like, sure, I'll do it. Let's go. Like, this is just fun. And for me, I don't really have a lot of pride when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm like, let's do this. I just like to entertain people. I like to make people laugh. So whatever that means, you know, usually I'm like down, like, let's go. Let's totally make fools of ourselves in front of billions of people on national television. So when it came to the songs that I chose, I sing in English and Spanish. So I just thought, hey, if they're looking for Spanish people, cool. I'm gonna sing one song in Spanish. And I think I sang 2 songs in English. I only remember 2 of the songs that I sang, but what I chose was I love like kind of swingy type stuff. So I chose a song by Duffy called Mercy. I love you, but I gotta stay true. My morals got me on my knees. I'm begging, please stop playing games. And then I did La Camisa Negra. Tengo la camisa negra. It's just like a kind of upbeat like dance song. And I didn't even really do any songs that were like, ha, like a lot of people try to do like Whitney or Celine. I didn't do anything like that. I just did something fun that just showed that I was like cool and like outgoing. And then the rest of it, I just left it up to my personality. So I would really recommend that if you do have the chops, do it. You know, if you're gonna do like 3 songs, do something that shows your vocal range, do something that shows how fun you are and dance. And then if you know how to do like something cool, again, like if you know how to do like a backflip while you're singing, then do that. Make sure that you use whatever your talents and strengths are, you use that, because you're going up against, I think there was 100 or 200,000 people that auditioned, and I made it down to the top 10 in my category, and I think that's pretty good. And that doesn't mean that I was the best singer there. It just means that I was outgoing, I was fun, I did sing good, you know. And before that, all the other performances that I did, you do a lot of performances and you do a lot of like where they choose and vote you out before they actually show you on television. So I had to do a whole bunch of other stuff too. I had to go through all kinds of different rounds of stuff. So be prepared, because they're gonna like just throw some stuff at you, and they're gonna ask you some, you know, questions, and they're gonna like, you know, maybe even embarrass you. They might be like, hey, we heard about this or we heard about that. Like, just don't be scared. Just be really fun and just like try to be really witty and don't think about it, you know, too much. All right, guys, make sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, where I send out free videos and post lots of free content teaching you how to turn your love for music, your love for performing into a career, and to learn how to make money in the music industry without a record label. So check my description. Check for the link in the description where you can sign up for my mailing list, where I send out these free videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and comment if there's anything else that you want to hear, anything else that you want to learn about. I am here. Thank you, guys. I'll see you at the next one.